to open the Board of Health meeting for September 17th, 2024. It is now, what time is it now? 6:06 PM. Just a reminder, the meeting is being held here in person, and we are broadcasting live across WCAT. We're also live on Facebook. If anyone else is recording this meeting, please let us know. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing on our agenda tonight is discussion and possible vote to appoint Felix Garcia as an additional Title V agent shared through the Shared Services Grant, and is an anticipated vote for that. Do we want to discuss this tonight, or do we want to table it till we can have everybody in attendance?
You want to wait and see if they can come and put a face to the name, or
Okay, so we'll
Invite
table it,
them to
we'll
the
table
next
it till next
meeting.
next month.
see if they can come out.
Yeah, sit down
Yeah.
and
I know we have some of these Title V
Introduce
agents.
themselves.
Need to put a face to the name, and
yeah, I'd like to see who we're doing it with.
Yeah.
And meet them and see what they've got for a resume.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
okay, so we'll table that for tonight. Subdividing plot parcel lots when it comes to perk tests. We're also going to table that one because we don't have enough information for that tonight. Discussion for applying no refunds for permits submitted. Okay, I think what we need to do, we did have somebody try to get a refund on permits. And I think we need to take a position that we're not refunding anything for permits from this point forward. Once a permit is submitted, there's a time frame for that permit to be used. If it expires, then you're gonna have to pay for a new permit. Okay, the other section of that would be if their permit is close to expiring, can they reapply for another permit at that point in time without paying another fee before their existing permit is expired? Now, I did some background research on that, and most towns do allow you to submit to update your permit in case it is close to expiration without any fees.
Could I just ask you to clarify, this is not for food establishment permits or anything like that? This is specifically for septic or Title V?
Right, this is Title V, septic permits, well permits, anything like that, not food. Food establishment permits are totally separate.
Fantastic.
Okay, you in agreement with that, Jim?
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion on no refunds or for the permits that were submitted and expired?
So this is getting put in bold
Yes.
lettering on the permit.
Yes, and it's going to be posted on the website
Yep.
also.
Okay,
I was
in the
just gonna
rules.
say, I can add that to some of the applications.
Yep.
The septic installation permits, like the Form 1A and 2A permits, they're state forms, so I can't really add them to that. So it would have to be something that I can communicate with the person, the contractor, the individual at the time of the permit, but the perk test, the installer's application,
All that we can add
and
it
the well
to.
one, I can add it to, just the state form I can't.
Yep. And we can let them know at that point when they come to pick that permit up that there is no refunds for the permits once they're expired. Okay. Mobile home park permits. That's you.
Deputy
Oh, hi.
Health Inspector.
I'm thinking and writing, I apologize. So we still don't have the information that we had requested, is that correct, Jessica?
Yeah.
The status that we're at right now is that we're holding off on those permits. For one of the parks, I believe we're still waiting on a distinction. They've given us a satellite image of the parcel of land, and they're telling us that there are 30 lots on that, but there's no distinction of where the lots are.
Does the satellite break it down, or just show the,
It just shows the land topographically.
Okay, so you need to have a clear picture without the trees and without everything else.
Just, yeah, typically we'll just get a written, a drawing that
Yeah,
shows
a
the
plot
entrance to the
plan.
park, the streets, or however. Because even on a drive-through, Jessica came with me, and we weren't able to find 30 lots that
Right.
we were able to see. So having that information is really important, not only for our department, but also when we work with other departments in the town for taxation and things like that. It's a requirement.
Okay,
of a
did they
permit.
specify whether any of those lots are double lots? No?
We have nothing. So we've requested that information multiple times. I don't know if at this point, if you as the board want to start a more firm answer or response to them, but the gentle requests that have been coming from the office have gone unanswered.
Okay, I think we should just basically send them a notice that they have to provide us with documents showing every lot, identify every lot, and number every lot, so we know where they're located.
Okay.
And if there's streets too.
Right.
Yeah, they can
Street
name the
names or-
streets or number the
Yeah.
streets, whatever.
It's helpful for the inspection, and the inspections are
Yeah.
pretty simple. It's just a drive-through verifying the number of lots and sanitation and things like that. For the other park, there was a question on the application because they submitted rules with their application, and prior to issuing a permit for the mobile home parks, as you know, there have to be approved rules, and they have to be approved through the Attorney General's office, or I think there's been a switch in the departments, but they have to be approved at the state level. And these rules that were submitted with the application had not been approved. So our question back to them was, have these been
Are they
approved?
posted?
We're not sure yet, so
Because
what
if they're
was,
posted on a sign, usually in most parks I've gone, it's got the MGL right on the sign.
it's not an MGL, it's a stamp of approval or some kind of written documentation that the rules have been approved as they are by the Attorney General's office, that they are legal and can be instituted. So with this particular park, with their application to us, which goes into the file, these rules had not been approved. We went back and said, we need approved rules. And the last rules that we have in the file were denied at the state level. What wasn't clear to us, and please correct me if I'm incorrect at all, what wasn't clear to us as far as documentation in the file is we have denied rules, we have rules that have not been approved. Help us figure this out. We need something in our file so that we can present it to the board. And then it came about that only a portion of the previous rules had been denied, or not approved, I should say, not approved. The remainder had been approved. At the state level, they tell us that we can accept those, and all we asked back to the park was, let us know what you're using. Are you using the rules that you had previous to the denial? Are you using the rules that, with only the approved rules in it? And I hope I'm making this clear. Or are you submitting brand-new rules that have yet to be approved? And I think there's still been some,
That one was settled.
That
and
one's
done.
settled?
The other one is the one with 2 parks, and that's the one that is submitting me ones that haven't been signed off on, and stating that they don't need to be signed off on. That's that one.
okay, so I guess there's, on the back end, there's some just clarification and documentation
Yeah.
concerns on our end before we present these to the board. Is that something that we can get cleaned up within, by next Wednesday? I know that you're,
Yeah, I'll reach out again. I've reached out a couple times already, and there's just responses back saying that it doesn't need to be approved, but they do.
The laws need to be
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah, we just need documentation to be
Yeah.
able to present to the board, so just please be aware that those mobile home park permits are still in flux, they're still in progress. We're working hard to get those presented to you so that you can sign those and so that we can get them out.
Okay. Anything else on mobile home parks?
I think I'm good with that.
Okay, next on the agenda is right to farm bylaw update. Guess that's my ballgame. So, we had, the right to farm bylaw previewed by the, selectmen at the last month's meeting. And they had a few questions on it, so I went and did some more further research on the rules and regulations. They basically wanted to add in items that they thought should be part of the bylaw. One of those is, no marijuana farms, no marijuana on farms, solar farms, wind farms, things of that nature. And I found out going through and looking at, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 different towns across the state of Massachusetts, all of their right to farm bylaws do not have anything in them that address marijuana farms, solar wind farms, or any of that stuff. Okay, it specifically addresses regular farming. Okay, and the reason that I found out just today was because marijuana is a state-controlled regulation, and it does not apply to any relief or exceptions for the right to farm bylaw or any other under the state. It's state-controlled, the state says what they can and what they cannot do, and they're the ones who control the whole procedure on that. Do we have to spell that out in the right to farm bylaw? There isn't a right to farm bylaw I read out there that has it in it. Even the state of Massachusetts regulations do not list it on their model plan. And basically, most, if not all, towns have taken the state model plan, and that's what they use as their bylaw. So, we can add it, I suppose, if we want to, really spell it out, but I don't think it needs to be spelled out under the current version. I'm gonna have a further discussion with the select board and see where they actually wanna go with it, and we'll go from there.
Do you actually have like a template from another town of how it's written out or
I
not
do,
written out?
yeah, I do, and it's
Okay.
basically the same as ours.
Okay,
I went around to the surrounding communities, Brimfield, Monson, West Brookfield, Brookfield, all of the communities, and I branched out to Suffield,
Different counties.
Plymouth, all
Yep.
different areas of the state.
okay.
And they all are using the state model plan. So, and basically what the bylaw is, it's just providing protections for farmers against nuisance lawsuits. Providing that their lawsuit, the suits are not a negligent situation on the farmer's part. And if it is a negligent situation on the farmer's part, then the bylaw does not support the farmer, it supports the complaint. So, that's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna bring it up to the next, selectmen's meeting and try and get more of a clarification of what they want, because there isn't any town in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that has right to farm bylaw that has anything of that nature. So,
So strictly to agricultural.
it's agricultural.
Okay.
Everything that's listed in there, agricultural, aquacultural, horses, livestock, all that is included in the farm bylaw, as well as transportation of product to market and from market. So, includes smells, odors, sounds, noises, all of that stuff.
So this is covering farmers if they're transporting their
Right, if their tractor is on the road and it's a slow piece of equipment moving up the road, and somebody files a complaint because the tractor's moving too slow on the road, they
That
don't.
they're covered.
They're covered,
Okay.
because it's in their normal operating realm of farming. So. Okay, any other further discussion on that? Trish, you have anything to comment on that?
On that particular part, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Health agent updates. That's
That'd be
you.
me. I apologize, I'm not as organized as I would have wanted to be. So I think my first order of business is to just reiterate with the board and confirm. Jessica and I spent some time, was it last week or the week before? Doesn't matter. Working through solidifying, confirming our internal process for submitting files to town council. So just being proactive and being prepared for when the case occurs, what she and I will do internally. So just to confirm with the board, and we did meet with the town administrator to get his requirements as well, because there was some confusion on my part. If we get to a point where a housing issue, and I've had several that have been raised recently that I'll discuss, if a housing violation is not corrected within the time frame given to correct, and a reinspection is completed, and the corrections have been observed not to have been corrected, then Jessica and I will work to gather all the documentation, present it to the board at a meeting, or if we need to, call a meeting before you so that you can decide whether or not to move forward with enforcement action that includes town council, or take a different route of action. If at that point in time, the board decides to approve that to go to town council, then the process is that Jessica would take that entire file with the vote from the board, send that to the town administrator, who would then approve it, although his approval process is not much of a
It's not-
renewal.
It's really not required, though.
But it's not a requirement, but he had mentioned something about an approval, so my question was, how long does it take you to approve the files? So ultimately, it would just be Jessica sends him the entire file, he takes that and submits it to town council, and then from there, the board is kept apprised of the
Yeah,
actions
because we
taken.
have to, we have to work with timeframes.
Right,
And if we go outside the window of the timeframes, we can't do anything.
that was kind of my concern, I guess, is why I went to the town administrator to try to determine, so that Jessica and I could have an idea internally of so she and I could be on the same page with our process and procedure. And I was confused or concerned about his approval process and what does that entail, what does that mean? It's really not much of anything at all. He just wants a complete file from Jessica to send off to town council. Once you guys vote to approve it, we're good. So I think the only delay in timing would be waiting to come to a Board of Health meeting, or discussion with one of you to.
Typically, you have, 30 days after the correction order is sent?
It all really depends. So if there was
Yeah.
something egregious and we gave them 24 hours to correct, and then within 24 hours I went out and observed that it hadn't been corrected, essentially I could come to the board and say, hey, we need to call a meeting, or I would go to Jessica and say, we need to call a meeting and get this voted on pretty quickly. So I'm trying to eliminate any delays in processing based on me being a contractor and not working full-time, and also having the office closed, for half of the week, right? So I'm just outlining it to the board, keeping you updated, I think Jessica and I have figured out and communicated, we have a pretty good idea of how we can get things before you as quickly as possible if they need to be. So just laying it out there.
Okay.
We have an internal procedure, it hasn't been written yet, but we're in the process of writing something up to add that to the training binder for standard operating procedures within the health department office.
Okay.
So that was the easier one. Actually, that's the most challenging one. With that being said, we have 4 properties that I am currently working on. 28 Cottage Street has been issued 2 letters requesting an inspection, and at this point, we haven't heard anything from that owner property. So I'm looking to ask the board what your thoughts are if we move forward with getting other departments involved and doing a formal inspection from the street level and issuing correction orders that way, or what the board would like to do. If you'd like to move forward with a correction order, I would also ask the board to vote on some additional steps if the correction order is not addressed.
I think, you know a little bit about that place.
Yes,
There's some stuff that I can't bring out.
Yeah.
Um,
We can table it if you'd like,
I
more
would,
information on it.
yeah, I think we should.
Okay. I can share the
Sure.
complaints out, okay. Or Jessica can get that information out. So then the next one would be 63 Spring Street. That's one that we brought up at the last meeting. They were given 30 days
Mhm.
to move that trailer off of the property. It's temporary housing without approval. The board had given them until September 15th to remove that from the property. Jessica went out on Monday and observed and took some photos that show that the camper is still on the premises. So I'm asking the board if you would like to move forward with extending that time frame to remove the camper. It was one thing that was suggested at the last meeting, or if you're looking to move forward with enforcement.
This was an extension.
I thought it was given 30 days, which went to September 15th.
Right,
yeah, we
but,
decided the September 15th was the hard date to get the camper
Right.
removed.
Okay.
from the
because they
property.
wanted, that original request, I thought, was an extension. Am I wrong?
I don't recall that being an extension. I believe that we had, so the time frame, to my recollection, is that the complaint was received. I went out and observed that the camper was there. We had nothing on file showing that there had been approval for temporary housing, approval through the Board of Health. So a letter was sent to the owner of record requesting their attendance at a meeting before the Board of Health so that they could speak for themselves. The owner was not available, was not present. The board voted to give
Till the 15th.
30 days, but, thereabouts, came to September 15th being a Sunday prior to our meeting, to remove that camper. And I believe the discussion at that meeting was, if we need an extension, we would still have time to grant an extension from September 15th until the start of the heating season. And the board had kind of agreed that we don't want anyone in temporary housing during the heating
Right.
season. So I think that's where there was some wiggle room that there might be an extension, but I'm not sure how your feeling on that is
So
right now.
after the letter was sent to the owner, was there any
Response?
response at all?
Yes.
Yeah, there was email
Okay.
response, yeah.
So the owner's response to us was that, they heard, they understood, but that the person in the camper would need probably more time than 30 days to find another place to live and to get the money up to be able to move.
Because from the pictures, from when we decided till current, there's no sign of, yeah, there's no sign of any action of trying to move out or cleaning up. so.
And I would tend to stay on, from that information, that there was probably nobody looking for anything or any place to move to.
Yeah.
So that we want to keep chasing the rabbit down the rabbit hole.
Or if you'd like to vote on, I could send out a correction order, as, you know, tomorrow before Jessica leaves the office, we could send out a correction order to have it removed, and give it a time frame of 7 days, 24 hours, whatever your thoughts are. But then I would also ask that, once that gets sent out via certified mail, or we could even have it sent by constable, which would be proof of service as soon as the constable serves it, which would start that time frame. Otherwise, we have to wait for the correction, for the certified mail return receipt to come back,
Mhm.
or for it not to come back. So I think my question to the board is, if we want to move forward with this as a correction order, would you like to vote tonight to have it served by constable or certified mail? And furthermore, once it's served, if that time frame expires, to have that removed, would you like to additionally vote to move it forward to town council? Or would you prefer to do this in a step-by-step manner at each additional board meeting? A caveat to either of those is that once a correction order is issued, served, what have you, the landowner would have the opportunity for a hearing if they requested so in writing.
Right. Within 7 days.
If we gave 7 days, once it was,
Let's give them, we'll give them an extension of 7 days.
yeah.
Without a correction order?
Without a correction order.
Okay.
And if that fails, then we'll move to the next step.
Okay. Day one being tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that, thank you. The next one, we just have two that are also on the books and awaiting responses. I have 47B Cottage Street and then also 26 Old West Brookfield Road that have been inspected and correction orders have been sent out.
Okay. And neither one of them has responded, or they haven't received it yet.
One of them should have received it, but we're gonna give, until next Wednesday, I believe we discussed internally, before sending out a second notice by certified mail or going through constable. And then, the most recent one has just gone out, so that would be given some more time.
Okay.
Is it this board's, preference to send out the correction orders by certified mail return receipt twice before going to a constable, or is it situational?
No, I wouldn't waste the money twice, because, half the time, in the past, we've sent multiple and haven't got the green cards back,
Okay,
which is not benefiting us in any way.
okay. Is that,
I would vote to say we send certified once and then the second time is a constable.
Yeah.
Make that
okay.
a policy or.
Want to, let's see. What's the word I want?
Do you want to vote?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, probably should vote on that.
My
officially.
brain just went. Okay, we'll take a vote on using a constable the second time out instead of sending two certified mail certificates out.
Yes, second.
All in favor? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So, moving forward, we'll do the constable.
Thank you. And I think that is all for me. I did not submit an invoice yet for this month. I lost track of time, but that will be forthcoming.
Okay. And we, while we're still there on the updates, we'll give an update on 27 North Street. I was over there on September 5th, did a reevaluation, and nothing has been addressed. Absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, it's gotten worse. There used to be a dumpster there that was overflowing. Now the dumpster is gone, and the trash is just piled up in the yard in various locations. One hot water heater feeding 3 apartments, 140-gallon hot water heater. So there's issues there that haven't been addressed. So we kicked it to legal. And I got notification that legal has it, and they're gonna give them a 14-day notification to correct all violations. And then we'll move from there. So, and I was advised that a permit was pulled for plumbing for what?
I can't keep them straight right now.
Plumbing.
I believe it was a hot water.
Hot
tank.
water heater?
Hot water heater, yes. Yes.
So they installed it without a permit to begin with.
There was a permit submitted, through the office.
When? This week?
I have to check the date. It was either, it could have been last week, but, it was submitted to the plumbing inspector in the beginning of this week. So it was mailed, and I got it.
So that was
Monday.
after the unit was installed.
I don't know exactly when it was installed, but, they did issue a permit through the office.
Okay. Fire alarm still is non-functioning over there, which is a major issue for Adam. Adam is fit to be tied. That's, you know, it's not boding well for the landlord who just doesn't take care of the place at all. And then he has a lawyer, she has a lawyer, and I still haven't been able to get to the other 2 apartments in the building yet because supposedly they've been threatened by the landlord. So that's where we're at with 27 North. It's in legal hands now. So, all right. Any complaints that came in?
No, we've handled all of them through the health inspector already.
Okay. New business? No?
I got
Okay.
a few things,
All right.
if this under, yeah, I guess it fit under new business. Right? Well, with the mailings and our hard volumes of mailing all our permits out and everything, it appears that, I don't know if the petty cash doesn't come in time.
Yep.
And there's a little bit of a lax of being able to mail stuff out. I think we ought to put it on our upcoming agenda to talk about either possibly getting some kind of credit card or some account set up to get these mailings out, because some of them need to be mailed out in a timely manner, have certain deadlines, and if we're waiting an extra week to get a roll of stamps or something, it's
Mhm.
not good.
Okay.
I have submitted, to get a little bit more additional funds through the petty cash, but even still, we go through it so quickly, and the turnaround time is,
Yeah, it seems like there's a
Little slow.
long turnaround. And for
So would we want to include that on next year's budget?
Yeah, I don't know how to proceed forward with that, if you guys have to just discuss with the selectmen. I don't know, but I think it may be a good thing, to be brought up at some point.
Yeah, I would say, let's bring it up at our next meeting.
Selectmen's meeting?
Or bring it to the selectmen.
Yeah, I think
If-
we
if
should bring it to
come,
the selectmen.
If you want to take it there, or bring it up, or another
Yeah,
board.
I think we should take it there because it's
Take it
only
to-
gonna get
yeah.
worse. It's not gonna get better if we don't address it with them.
We have to, I don't know if there's maybe possibly getting a, some type of credit card or something to help out in this
Yeah.
situation,
That one department handles and
something.
like the,
Because like I said, if you have to mail out on a Monday, and you only have 2 days or something, and
Yep.
it's sitting there, because you can't get postage, that could be a
The
problem.
other thing, I think I mentioned it before, was looking at the forever stamps.
yeah.
You know, look at that system.
I know, well, sometimes you need the certified mail, that's more,
Yep.
right?
It's what, 4?
Special.
Is it 4?
996.
9,
Yeah,
jeez,
that's,
my God.
and next,
Now you know why we don't wanna do 2.
yeah,
Wait till you see the bill from the constable.
Well, yeah, but that's a one-time shot,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
I understand that, but I don't understand the mail system when you don't get back what you're supposed to get back. Because you paid for that service and you should be getting the green cards back, and you're not.
Yeah.
And that puts us in another predicament.
Yeah.
So, I just assume if we
But
can get out of certified mail altogether, that's what I'd like
but I
to
think
do.
the biggest predicament is actually getting it, the first initial permit mailed, certified out.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a lapse here, time, that
Mhm.
it's a little wasted,
I mean, I've
that needs to be corrected.
done my own credit card for the last 3 certified mails.
That practice
Yeah,
there,
that shouldn't, just shouldn't happen.
no town employee should have to do that.
Yeah, we'll address it with the select board,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah. And, I guess, some old business I have.
We're
this-
not there yet, we're in the
Oh,
new business.
okay.
That all you got?
Yeah, that covers that.
Okay, new business I have. I handed out to you regulation for governing and keeping of animals and fowl. This is for you guys to look at, review. We have no regulation for animals of any kind other than dogs in the town. And this is trying to address that. Okay? It gets down basically, and I gotta sit down with our ACO and review this with her. She had some questions on it, but I think we need to take a look at it, go through it, highlight what you, or redline what you don't agree with, and then we'll take it to the next level. Okay, but this is a standard boilerplate regulation for the keeping of animals and fowl.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Now we're on to old business.
Okay. Old business, several meetings back, I talked about one of Burnett's trash cans at the senior center. They have
Yes.
a couple holes in them. 2 of them still need replacing. I don't know if we can send another request in. All the other cans town-wide seem to be in good shape. And also on the notes of trash cans, this is, in general, everyone's trash can. Before and after pickups. Does seem like people leave their trash can in the middle of the sidewalk.
Mhm.
It's difficult to maneuver around. Just putting it out there, maybe try to put the trash on the edge of the property or the driveway. Most of the trash contractors actually get out of their truck and manually dump the can. There may be one or two trash companies that have that reaching arm,
Yep.
but most of them can be put on the edge of their people's properties and not in the middle of the sidewalk or on the road. Since I've been noticing that, especially after they even get emptied, they're blowing around and have to pull them out of the road sometimes. And
Okay. So we can add that to our website, put that on the website, an announcement that all trash cans should be kept within the property lines, not on the town walkways. Any other business?
that's pretty much what I got for there for that.
Trish, you got anything? None? Okay. Bills and payroll. You got it.
All right. I'll read out the bills and the payroll. Don Mikowski, monthly stipend for September, $150. Danielle Thibault, monthly stipend, $150. James McKeon, monthly stipend, $150. Animal inspector stipend for September, $100. Quabbin.
Analytical.
Yeah, yeah. For Cummings Pond water testing, August and September. $325. Slims and Berthium Sewer, Leachant, $300. Burnett's trash removal for September, $719.50. Solid Waste Solutions, September, $2,350. Now, is that a report, or is there
It's a
any?
Town contracts, that's a monthly.
That's okay, so that's just a,
For the transfer station.
okay. Serve Safe Food Safety Manager, 7th edition class, Jim McKeon, $155. Reimbursement, Don Mikowski. For some waiters, $84.99.
Okay. Move to approve all of the bills and payroll.
I have a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All accepted. Okay, approval of minutes from 8/13/24. Are they in here?
Gee, I did look at I did review those, I believe.
Okay, move to accept and approve the minutes from 8/13/24.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All accepted. Next meeting we want to schedule.
So I was notified that the Conservation Committee has a meeting on October 15th in this office at 7 PM. So we either have from 6 to 7, or we can go upstairs to the FinCom, or another day. The day before is a holiday. Just
That's Tuesday, what, the 15th is?
15th is a Tuesday, and the 14th is Columbus Day. So if we want to do the 15th, we'll have to go
Upstairs.
upstairs, unless there's any change in time, but I don't think we can. I don't know if we can do that.
You think?
I suppose we could go upstairs if we needed to.
Yeah.
I want arrange for that, the 15th
Okay.
upstairs. That's it.
We're sticking with 6 PM.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Is that a problem for you?
No.
Okay.
So we'll move to the FinCom room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the next item agenda is, we adjourn the meeting for September 17th, 2024 at 6:51 PM.
A second?
All in favor?
Motion to adjourn? Yeah,
All-
in favor.
Aye. Aye, meeting is adjourned.